all of us sacrificed so much to serve our communities in this pandemic. And the most Kaiser could do for us was dig in their pockets and look for the loose change.
6.4 billion, I believe they made in profit this year alone. Yet they want to play Ebenezer Scrooge with a bonus when they could have used that as an opportunity to say, thank you. We honor you. We understand what you've been through. We couldn't have done this without you.
They were willing to put us in harm's way, right? And not be forthcoming on many issues in regards to personal protective care. There was really apparent that there was some sort of ranking amongst us, depending on what letters were behind your name, whether it was worth spending the money to provide you with personal protective equipment. And it just seems that there hasn't been a moment, at least in my eyes, where Kaiser executives had said, what has been the long haul human cost of this pandemic? No one has thought about what have these workers gone through. And mind you, there are plenty of us. I'll talk about myself. My husband was laid off almost the entire year from March to March. He just barely went back to work. I had to empty out my 401. My savings are gone. Like, I'm going to have to start all over again. And I don't think that they understand that cost to us.
We have lost coworkers. And Kaiser seems to have just walked over those bodies and moved on like nothing else has happened.
We had, as a union, had to push them to do things like provide, time for people paid time for people who got COVID. We had, as a union, to organize and push to get them to do things like provide us with a place to stay if we got infected while we were on the clock at work, taking care of patients. We had to push them to do things like provide childcare for their workforce, a workforce that was keeping communities alive.
I was on those calls with our leadership where we had to fight to get plexiglass, something that was in supermarkets before it was in our facilities. We had to fight to ensure that we had proper wipes to wipe things down. We had to fight for masks. Everything that we got, we had to fight for, which is despicable in itself. Then to have them say, well, this bonus that we usually give you, we're going to still hold you to attendance, even though we make you stay home if you have symptoms or if you've been exposed. We're going to still hold you to all of those other goals and gates, even though we know COVID has affected it because we don't have the patient flow coming in. We're still going to hold you accountable for those things that are out of your control. But to then see those numbers when they came out and see that Kaiser played bait and switch, semantics, word games, and still held us accountable for those COVID depressed numbers. And that was on top of not even offering hazard pay. So it's kind of a double slap in the face. And even under that duress, that trauma, that obstacle, that struggle, we still managed to make Kaiser profitable.
Right? I don't know how you feel about it, but I want to get out there. I want to get out there and I want to be loud about it.
I know my coworkers are ready. I've already had coworkers coming to me saying, when are we going to be out there? When is that picket? When is that car caravan? They want to let Kaiser know how they feel and how they've made them feel. And I think now's the time for our members to step up and be heard and be on those sidewalks, be in those cars, be on those picket lines, and remind Kaiser what they used to be and how they can get back to being that.
Part of how we're going to do that is by working to pass AB 650. I mean, AB 650 is basically the call for employers, private hospitals across this state to step up to the plate and really start honoring and recognizing the work that a lot of us took on throughout this entire year, and it's been a year already. And it's really our chance to make sure that people are given a reason to stay into healthcare. A lot of us felt discarded by our employers, and it's going to force them to dig into their wallet and pull out some real solid money for their workers, as opposed to that chump change that they had at the bottom of the pocket.
Yes, I'm ready. I am beyond ready, Gabe. And I just want to ask everybody who's watching us, are you ready? Are you ready to get those signatures? Are you ready to talk to those legislators? Are you ready to make sure that Gavin Newsom understands this is a bill that needs to be signed? Are you ready to let Kaiser and all the other healthcare providers in the state know now is the time to respect those people that care for the patients in these facilities?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, I'm ready.
Let's do it.